Good evening. Patrick here, 8 Questions with, and welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday to everybody, hump day. And so that means we're heading toward the weekend after today. Uh, it is a beautiful but chilly Michigan spring day. Temperatures are in the 40s. It is nippy, I tell you. Welcome to the show. As I mentioned, I want to thank everybody who came out yesterday uh, for our shows. We had a hell of a fun time, for sure. We had we talked about a lot of things. We met a terrific actress in Tiffany Ellen Robinson, and then we came back and we ended it with talking with our good friend Kenny Sparks, who's also a fellow YouTube movie channel cinephile. He was here, and um, hi Sue, hey Stephen, how are you? How are you? So we got we've been working hard today, working hard trying to get some dates landed, and got some good news. It's exciting. Things are really popping here. Um, some things I can't mention quite yet, but we're working hard. We're working really hard on having a great May, which is, to tell you the truth, is a very thankful thing. I'm glad to be busy. So that's for sure. So tonight we'll be joined by special co-host Ant from the Friendly Men. Of course, you might have, if you were here last Saturday, you saw Ant co-host with the Friendly Men when we interviewed the band Cheetah Truth, and now we have Ant back here again today with us as we interview the band Sex Dream. And Sex Dream is a three-piece punk rock band, Sad Kitty punk rock band from Sad Hello Kitty punk rock band from Chicago, Illinois. That's how they describe their sound. Sad Hello Kitty punk. I'm down for it. Color me hooked. So we'll be talking to vocalist Maria Surfingbird, and Andrew and Drew, and they will be here with us momentarily, along with Ant. So, so we had some really exciting news. I caught this trailer reaction from our good friend Ken Sledge from Sledgehammer Horror. He said, there's a Little Mermaid movie, and looks like one of those Little Mermaid movies that get, like a mock, takeoff. So I'm going like, okay, let's take a look at it. Oh my gosh. It was the movie The Little Mermaid that we talked to the actress Lydia Helen and the leading man on that movie, Mike Markoff. It was their movie, and it finally got a trailer. Um, Hold on, the doorbell rang. Let me see who's here. Nobody's here. Okay. I thought it'd come on, but you know what? It could be it just could be StreamYard acting goofy. So yeah, we had talked to Lydia Hellett and Mike Markoff, and about their movie, and it looks like the movie is going to be coming out sooner than later. So that's really cool. I have to go look at the trailer afterwards because I'm going to do a reaction video for it. Of course I am, right? Um, and I was really excited. So that's the second movie that Mike has out now. Mike's going to have The Little Mermaid out, and then of course he's going to be in the big budget summer hit Hitman, which stars Glenn Powell. He's going to be featured in that film as well. Uh, uh, someone caught my Easter egg. Oh, that's right, Dale. That's right. They don't call me King of ISC for nothing, my brother. That's right. And now I want to see which one you pick, because it's going to be a little tricky. Because I'll be honest with you, there's actually a movie in there that I did not like. I did not like the movie. I don't know which one it is. You'll have to tell me which one you're picking out. Um, but there is one in there that I did. It's actually, to tell you the truth, there's one in there I did not like, and then there's one that's my favorite film from the last 20 years. my favorite film. It's actually my favorite film I ever reviewed. And so yeah, but yeah, I sort of stacked the deck. Dale. I sort of stacked the deck. I knew we were going to be talking about ISC for sure, so I just made sure it happened. Let's see. Steven mentioning Lee Scott has the Hitchhiker movie out on YouTube. It's a spoof on The Hitcher, I think. Watch and double check. But Lee Scott is an amazing director and producer. Yeah. All right. Hi, Anthony. How are you? I know you gotta get up to 96. You gotta get to 97. Actually, Anthony, the year I really want you to hurry up to get to is 2000. You got to get up to 2000. No, get to 2000 already. Of course, you're wondering why do I want Anthony to get to 2000s in his memoirs? Well, who won the baseballs? Who won the World Series in 2000, Anthony? Wow, we got an early crowd coming in here. Um, that's awesome. I can't wait for you guys to meet Sex Dream. They're gonna be it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna try to talk them into playing at least a song or two. I know Maria was sort of like, but you know what? It's punk rock. She goes, well, I'm not sure if it'll sound very good. When does that ever happen? Who cares? It's great music. It's you don't listen to punk rock for opera. You know what I'm saying? You listen to punk rock because because you want to hear, you want to mosh, you want to jump up and down, you want to pogo, you want to have energy, you want to be, want to be, yeah. I'm not looking for ballads. I'm not looking for Christina Aguilera. I'm looking for Fast Furious and with a female vocalist. That's what I'm looking for. And so I think Sex Dream fits that bill. Plus, any band that calls themselves Sad Hello Kitty Punk, you gotta display it, right? You gotta show that off. Hey, it's our good friend Pat Master. Pat, Pat, Pat. All right, what's going on? Uh, uh, let's see what. You broke a couple of chairs that way. Well, I don't. That must have been a. That must have. You must have been in your own kitchen doing the mosh pit if you did that. But yours truly had got two concussions in pits, and I also got a hat, a very nice hat, uh, uh, from a pit once. All right, all right. Let me tell you what's coming up because you guys all know it's all about the calendar, right? So tonight, of course, is Sex Dream, and like I said, we'll be joined by our good friend Ant from the Friendly Men. And then on Sunday, the 28th, Sunday 8 o'clock on the 28th, we'll be back here on my channel for the ISC Midnights, and our Mary Wilson will be hosting the show, and we will be along with Ben and Horror with Haas, and we will be deep diving Rust Creek. Rust Creek is the movie that we'll be talking about. Rust Creek is free on Tubi, so if you want to join us for our deep discussion and offer us some comments or some observations, go over to Tubi and bring up Rust Creek and join us on Sunday 8 o'clock here on How Cheetah Will View. And like I said, the lovely Mary Wilson will be hosting. And then on Tuesday, Ant from the Friendly Men is returning yet again. He's actually been on the show almost more than me this month. Ant and Jonas and James will be back on Tuesday, May 1st. I'm sorry. Yeah, Tuesday, May 1st. And they will be here and we'll be catching up with the Friendly Men. Hey, Joshua, how are you, sir? How are you? Glad you guys are here. Feel free to share us out. Feel free to share us out. Um, yeah, and I also cracked 1380. So I'm only 20 away from 1400. 20 away. So yeah, isn't that something else? I didn't think I'd catch 14. But yeah, thank you so much. That's amazing. So I'm almost at 1400. That's crazy. All right. So let's see. Let me make sure that make sure. All right. Give me a minute here. Make sure no one's trying to get a hold of me. Nobody is. Okay, that's good news. That's good news. Okay, the doorbell has rang. Let's go see who's here. It is none other than what?
Yeah.
What? Oh man, here we go. It's
Patrick,
on now.
I've had this idea for a long time of where if I'm your co-host, I want my own co-host. So I brought my own co-host. That's right.
Oh, look out! Look out! It's a Friendly Men takeover.
Yeah, it is. How you doing, Pat?
Yeah, Pap's here. Joshua's here. Stephen Chang is here. We're getting more people in. We're waiting for a sex dream to come up, and they'll be here momentarily. We were just talking about you guys popping up on the 30th to hang out with us, catch us up with what you guys have been doing, what's going on in the future for the Friendly Men. So we're looking forward to that. And yes, Jonas will be here for all the ladies in attendance that want to know that in advance.
Yeah, he's here, man. Yeah. Hey, Patrick, I have a question for you. Which two concerts did you get a concussion at when you were in the mosh pit? Was it the Paula Cole and Sarah McLachlan concert that you got a concussion at, or
listen here, Bay City Roller. All right. Don't make me squash you. I got a concussion from the Vandals.
Oh, cool.
All right, so I got some cred right now. All right, give me some love. And the other one was my brain was scrambled.
Probably because of the concussions.
Was it?
Yeah, probably the concussions. Give me a minute. I'll try, because you know what? It happened really early in my career, and I got the Vandal one as a fan. I was at a fan. The other one I got nailed on pretty good was the Henry Rollins band.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah. Well, you know what? But the concussion I got, it was me falling down, sleeping when Tool was playing.
Oh, yeah. I would have fallen asleep also.
Oh, James Mayer didn't do it for you?
So, all right, here we go. The guest of honor, Maria and Drew and Andrew. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I think we're missing one person.
Yeah, we wanted her to come in on time. Maria's on her way. She's coming from work. She has a far drive. She should be here shortly.
Okay.
You want to come here first, and so you knew we were here.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad you guys are here. I love your music. I will tell you right now, I would have booked your band in a heartbeat. If I would have gotten a call from your agent, or I would have got a press kit or anything, I would have booked you guys in a heartbeat.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys are fast and furious. I asked Maria, I said, will you be able to play a couple of songs? And she goes, well, I'm not really so sure because it might not sound good. And I'm going like, well, you're punk rock, baby. You don't need that. You just need to get the energy up. You need to get people up and pogoing, and moshing and thrashing.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's really quick, Patrick. Andrew, the drummer. You guys got a new guitar player.
Yes, this is Kirk.
Eric?
Oh, Kirk.
Okay.
Kirk.
Hi, Kirk. Okay.
All right.
Hi, Kirk.
Yeah, our new guitar player. It's been great with them. He's played a couple shows with us already. It's been fun.
Cool.
Good. Yeah. God, band transition, musician transitioning. That's probably is that the hardest thing for a band to have to go through? In your opinion, when you have to replace a member?
Yeah, it's a very difficult thing to go through. I mean, even for like any member, like any instrument or person you have to replace, it's definitely a struggle because it's a completely like new thing. You have to go out and find someone. You got to go try out new people, and it's an ongoing process. And some things don't end up working out. And you just kind of keep searching and searching, but if you keep with it, we like stuck with it. We found someone pretty fast. We were fortunate to find Kirk, Like he was one of the first ones to apply, and then yeah, he ended up being like the best for us. So it worked out good, but it was definitely a stressful process in the beginning because we had a lot of people and like a lot of people try out, a lot of messages, and we had to send out all the stuff on social media like, hey, we're looking for a guitarist, and then like explain why we're looking for a guitarist, or like everyone's asking us like, why is he quitting? Why is he quitting? You know, like there was a problem or animosity, but you know, things change for people. They just have other stuff they got to take care of. You know,
Right.
exactly.
Sometimes I've noticed that happen whenever there was a married someone who was married in a band. That was sometimes, because it's great when you have a married person in the band if you're just playing your town. If that's all you're playing with, it's just 3 or 4 clubs in your town. Being married, having a married member in your band is not a problem. It becomes a problem is when all of a sudden you have that married person, and all of a sudden you're telling them, yeah, we're going to be touring the East Coast. We're going to be gone for 6 weeks. That puts the brakes on a lot of bands.
Yeah, definitely. One thing we want to do this year was travel more, and that started becoming an issue for our other guitarists. So things happen, but it was a difficult process, but everything worked out really good, and we're in a good place, and we're happy to have Kirk. So it's definitely fun. But yeah, going back to your original question, it is difficult.
Kurt, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background. What are some of the bands that you played in? What are some of your influences?
I think there's a lot of the same influences that Andrew and Maria would claim too. Things like Screeching Weasel, Mr. T Experience, the Queers, obviously the Ramones. I mean, I have a pretty varied music background, but I always kind of like found myself coming back to punk a lot. I honestly haven't played in too many bands. I mean, I kind of screwed around with some friends in high school, but I'd hardly call that a band. I played bass for a little while in a band called Tyler Olson and the Interiors. It was just a small little indie rock band in Chicago. And then I was in a ska punk band called Run and Punch. I actually played drums in that band. Basically, right after I had left them, I saw that they needed a guitarist and kind of just figured, hey, why not send him an email? Right?
Yeah, Kirk is very talented, and he's also a music teacher. We're actually at his music shop because this is where we practice too. And we're going to practice after this. Yeah.
So I like some of the bands you mentioned there as influences, Screeching Weasel and the Ramones. What do you feel about the Avengers? Are you a big fan of the Avengers?
I'm actually not too familiar with them.
Yeah, me either.
Check them out, though.
Really? I'm crushed, guys. So the Avengers are one of probably the most important female-led punk rock bands in punk rock history. And the Avengers were led by a singer, and she's still playing, by the way. But her name was Penelope Houston. And I think a lot of what if any woman that's playing in a punk rock band definitely owes a nod to Penelope Houston for blazing that trail. A lot of people don't know that too well. They actually toured with the Sex Pistols and actually rather kicked their ass, if I may say so. Let's see. Let me go to the chat real quick. It's been popping here. Thank you guys for all coming in. Feel free to share us out. Hello, Gary. Hello. Lord Gary Daniel is here. Hello. And Caveman, what's going on? Caveman Movies and More. What's going on? All right. A lot of fun people coming into the chat today. Thank you so much. Feel free to share us out. That will help us out a lot, and that'll be cool. That'll be fun. So I didn't ask you though. What I mean, are your influences the same as Kurt's? Or do you have any other bands that were special to you growing up?
Yeah, like early on when I was like younger, before I discovered like older punk bands and like stuff. Like when I first like started listening to music, I liked like the typical stuff like Green Day, Blink-182, AFI. And then from those bands, I started finding other bands, bands like Rancid, and then like getting deeper into that, I find like the older bands like Dead Kennedys. Like once I heard that was just like one of the like, the best things I ever heard. When I first heard Dead Kennedy's Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables, I was like absolutely blown away. And then finding more and more stuff, and A lot of music was shown to me from like friends' older brothers and like my older brother. And then finding like Screeching Weasel, and then the whole like Lookout era, and like realizing it's like, oh, Green Day was on Lookout.
Yep.
We all knew each other. Rancid, Op Ivy, like all those bands are like super connected. Like finding that out, at a younger age, finding all this new like punk music and punk bands. But honestly, like my favorite stuff has always been like oldies and punk rock. I feel like it goes hand in hand. And
what do you mean by what do you mean by
Dick
what do you
Beyond
mean by
94.7? Like just a lot of oldies music and punk rock.
What do you mean by oldies?
Like 50s, 60s, 70s era music. Like all that stuff. I love doo-wop and like, the bubblegum pop era stuff, and like the 60s, like surf and all that. Like, love that stuff.
That's cool you mentioned that, because James is one of James's favorite bands from the Friendly Band is the Bay City Rollers that were from Michigan. It's one of his favorite bands.
Oh yeah, I listen to them every single day, Pat. Listen to them and I shave.
Right next to the Osmonds, right?
Saturday night, and then they do this really cool cover of this oldie song I like a lot. I Only Want to Be With You. I think they do a cover of that from Dusty Springfield, which is one of my favorite oldie songs, and they do an awesome cover of that. Basically,
man, I can see you and James talking Bay City Rollers for a while.
Well, I'm a big Paula Cole fan, Pat. You forget that, all right?
I want back to Andrew. Andrew, you play in other bands. Do you want to talk about your other bands?
No, don't. Just talk about them. All right, fine, go.
Well, my original band and my main band is Sex Dream, obviously, but I also play in a band with my friends. Their band's called Girl Ops, and I joined them around the same time we started Sex Dream. I knew them from like the scene and like see them at shows all the time, and became friends over the years. And one day they just asked me like, "Hey, do you want to come over and jam?" And then it kind of worked out. And they're just like, "Do you want to be our drummer?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm down to do this. This is cool." I was like unexpected, and it was something like I was kind of blown away. Like they actually asked me, and I was like, "Well, you guys are my friends. I like hanging out with you a lot. It just worked out perfect." And then also, I'm in another band. It's my friend's solo project called Caitlin Edwards. And I just help her out with the live drumming, but that also kind of happened unexpectedly, where she was just like, "Do you want to fill in for some shows for me?" And that ended up just being like, "Okay, do you want to like be in the band?" So I'm kind of at the point now where starting to write like some new stuff with her and be more part of that band. But it was also like doing these other projects like is fun. It keeps me busy, definitely. But the main reason I do it is obviously I love to play music, and it's always been fun to me, but like it's really cool that I get to like help my friends and play with my friends and like their bands,
Now, how do you maintain a balance though between Sex Dream and the other bands that you play in? I mean, how do you tell all your friends?
Busy and hectic. I definitely have to write everything down on the calendar and make sure I don't double book, but I've been pretty fortunate. Most times it's worked out to where Sex Dream always, like last year, like played so many shows between like all three bands. Like Sex Dream last year played about 30 shows. Girl Ops probably played somewhere between like 10 and 15. And then Caitlin Edwards' band, we probably played somewhere between 5 and 10. So for me, like the whole year, I was like getting close to like 50 shows for like that whole year, which is like looking back, I was like, holy shit, that's a lot. But I got fortunate where it worked out during the year where when Sex Dream was really busy, the other two bands weren't doing anything. And then Sex Dream took a little break, and then Girl Ops started doing something. And then Girl Ops took a break, and then Caitlin Edwards started doing something. So it kind of just worked out to where like one of my bands took a break, the other one was doing something. So I had time, So.
Right. Now do you have to tell, basically, do you tell all the other members of Sex Dream, like Maria? Did you, how do you discuss that? I mean, let's just say that let's say Sex Dream goes down for a little break, and you join one of the other bands, but all of a sudden Sex Dream suddenly gets an offer to go on a tour or something like that.
Well, yeah.
And how do you get
to where that's worked out to where it hasn't gone over like double booked. One time I double booked a show myself. I was booking, and then I had to choose between one or another, which was really difficult. But I usually just was like, okay, well, who did I book with first? Like, so, like, who locked down that date first? That's usually what I go by. But I've been usually pretty fortunate to where it's worked out to where I just, when they book a show, it happens to be on a day I'm not already playing a show. But I guess in the future, if that happens, I would go by who asked me first and which one is the bigger show. Because I would say if one band is playing like a really big show that seems to be like very important, I might say like, well, maybe I should play this one instead. But hopefully it doesn't come down to that, because Sex Dream is my number one choice. That's the one I'm most busy with. We play the most shows for sure, and that's like my band, like that I helped start. Like I have fun with the other bands, but it's mostly like helping out my friends. Like Sex Dream is the one where I get to like.
They understand that too. They understand that your priority is with Sex Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that can be. I know that can cause some friction in a band, and I've seen that before.
Yeah,
where,
definitely.
That happened where it's like, the solo will be stretched out thin. They have to practice with the other band as well as the primary band, and then they have to record and play live. I mean, it can be exhausting.
It can get complicated very quickly.
Yeah,
and kind of just like spiral out of control if you don't like manage your time and keep everything on written down and like keeping track of all the shows, because it can definitely like be overwhelming if you let it like get out of control. So
now have you did you grow up in the Chicago area? Are you native to it?
I grew up in the Chicagoland suburbs my whole life. I've been around that area pretty much my entire life. Suburbs of Chicago.
What about you, Ant? You got a couple of questions?
What? Oh, he just went to the bathroom. Pat, Pat, put your glasses back on. He went to the bathroom.
Do you have a couple of questions?
Well,
I know you do.
The story, let's hear about Kirk's backstory. Kirk,
where are you from?
Where am I from? So I actually grew up in North Carolina, but I've been in the Chicagoland area since 2010. So I consider this more of my home. I live out in DeKalb now, if anyone out there knows where that is. It's about 60 miles west of Chicago.
NIU, buddy. NIU, man.
Yes,
Yep.
NIU. There you go. That's about it. Like I said, I'm not as haven't been in quite as many bands. I usually just kind of do one thing at a time. Just for my own convenience more than anything else. I envy that Andrew gets to play out as much as he does. But
he's being modest. He's
no.
multi-talented. He can play like 5 different instruments. I just play drums. He's a guitar teacher.
Yeah,
drummer
but I'm
in a punk band.
Master of
Renaissance
right?
man. Yeah, right.
Jack of all trades. Yeah, like I said, my biggest band I was in was Run and Punch. It was a ska punk band. They didn't play out quite as much, but they usually do like a show or two every month. But yeah, that was always fun.
Oh, ska bands are fun.
Yeah.
Real fun.
Oh. Absolutely. So now, Kurt, have you played a lot of Halloween parties in Northern? Because I went to a lot of good Northern Halloween parties, and they were awesome.
I have not. I actually just moved to DeKalb last summer, so I'm a new DeKalb transplant.
All right.
We're in the same area of like Andrew out here and like Lyle, Naperville kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're in like Downers Grove right now, and we pretty much grew up around that area.
Why didn't we just all do the interview together? We're all close to each other. We're in one.
We could all be in the same room.
Hey, Pat, why don't you post this interview for 30 minutes? We're all going to come together. We're going to go get some Burger King.
We'll meet at Denny's.
That's right. Now, you guys all got to put on Husky T-shirts so I can find you guys.
Hey, hold on, Pat. The man's back. Ant's back. Pat, do you have a question?
I see that.
I do have questions, but I'm waiting for Maria because it's questions for everybody.
Yeah, she should be here soon. She was coming straight from work, and she moved farther away. She's in
Hampshire, right?
Yeah, Hampshire, which is
I know where Hampshire is. That's crazy.
Little out there now. Yeah, she recently moved, and
it's like in the boonies. It's in the middle of the boonies of Illinois. Yeah, I've been.
Well,
Is there boonies in Chicago?
Outside of Chicago, Pat, there's a lot of boonies, and Hampshire is a big one. They actually have a lot of farms and horses out there. What he's describing, I used to ride horses over there.
Pretty much anything west of Aurora is like corn land.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true, Pat. That's true. Yeah. So, all right.
So, Pat, before we go forward, since I got Andrew here, and I talk to Andrew every time I've seen Sex Dream. I don't know, like pretty much every time you guys play Punk Rock Tacos.
Yeah, you've seen Sex Dream and Grow Ups tons of times.
And I give you this compliment every time. Andrew has what we call the butter knife. It's the perfect slicing of the hi-hat and the snare. It's the butter knife.
Yeah, slicing up butter with a hot knife, just instant.
He's probably my favorite local drummer right now.
Oh, shut up.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, every time I play a show and I talk to you afterwards, you always say like the best things, and it means a lot to me.
I watch you the
a lot of confidence.
I watch you the whole time.
Yeah, you tell me. It's like, yeah, it's always like, but I just can't help it. It's like I'm just mesmerized by you know, your drumming and like the speed of your hand and stuff. It's great. Yeah, it's awesome.
Who are some of your favorite drummers?
Well, Bill Stevenson from Descendants has been one of my favorites. Trey Cool. But honestly, like when I first started learning, I was listening to Ramones a lot. So definitely a lot of Tommy Ramone and Marky Ramone. But then as far as like more like the other drummers have always been like one of my favorite. Has always been Buddy Rich. He's like, you know, one of my like. I mean, there's so many great drummers out there, but that one he's always like stood out to me and like that I looked up to a lot. But definitely for punk drumming, it's Bill Stevenson, Descendants, and basically Tommy Ramone and Marky Ramone for sure.
Yeah.
Perfect answer.
Yeah.
Perfect answer.
Anthony does a great Marky Ramone impersonation. Show, man.
Oh, yeah. I met Marky Ramone one time. It was in DeKalb.
Oh, no.
My buddy was going to college there, and Marky Ramone was doing like a spoken word thing. And long story short, he had a question and answer thing. And I go, hey, Marky, my buddy, I point to my buddy sitting next to me who's like really big, like, but he's like, you know, but he's gentle as he's a gentle giant. And I blame it all on him. I go, hey, my buddy says that you wear a wig. Do you wear a wig? And this is what Marky Ramone did. He grabbed his wig and he goes, nah, kid, this is all Marky right here. He didn't even like move. Like he didn't like, you know, he just like did this with his wig, and you saw his wig move back and forth. So yeah, that's when I almost got beat up by Marky Ramone.
Oh, did he get mad at you for asking that?
Actually, I got to go backstage and like he signed autographs afterwards.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
And I invited him to go to this Mexican restaurant with us, and he goes, nah, kid, I just ate a couple of fillet of fishes from McDonald's. I'm like, okay, Marky Ramone.
After Didi died.
Who are some of the bands that you played with that who are some of the bigger bands that you've managed to play with so far?
This past October we played T1 Fest, and it was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday thing, and we played first on Thursday, so we kicked it off. But all those bands that were like a part of it, a lot of them were like bands we looked up to over the years, like the Queers, you know, Dan Vapid and the Cheats, and then Riverdale's did a couple songs with Danny Vapid. You know, Danny Vapid did a couple Riverdale songs. Teen Idols came back, did a couple songs.
Did Lillingtons. Like, you were there all 3 days?
Yeah, I went to all 3 days. It was awesome.
We only went Saturday. Stop.
Yeah, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but yeah, any of the days was awesome. Were great.
It was the first time I ever got to see the Boll Weevils.
Yeah, Boll Weevils played, and yeah, so many great. Everyone.
Friendly Men. James is interviewed.
I didn't interview him.
His brother did on Friendly Men, but it was my first time ever seeing the Boll Weevils, and they were kick ass.
Yeah,
like, so much energy. It was awesome.
Yeah, I've seen them a couple times recently. They just get better and better, and they got a couple. Trying to think when they are, but I saw a couple shows they got coming up look pretty rad. Definitely want to try and go to one.
Queers and Sloppy Seconds. Queers and Sloppy Seconds.
Yeah, going to that one, but I missed out on Sludgeworth. That one's sold out. I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah. Are you going to that?
No, I couldn't.
I wonder if Maria is. I think she went to the last one.
It sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So.
What is the live music scene in Chicago like? I mean, you think of Chicago, you think it's the second largest city, right? Or the third largest city behind Los Angeles.
Yeah.
How's the live scene? I mean, is it popping? Is it thriving? Or
I would say it's pretty popping. In Chicago, the city, and outside Chicago, in the Chicagoland area. For example, Punk Rock Tacos mentioned earlier. Like they're doing a lot of great things. Noah Corona over there is doing a lot of things, bringing a lot of great music to a lot of different places. And
I'm trying to get Noah on Patrick's show. I'm trying to get Patrick to book Noah.
Yeah, definitely got to do one with him. But especially in the city too, like everywhere. It's there's so many shows, especially now that it's getting nicer out in springtime and like summer's coming. Like there's even like when we play a show on the weekend, there's so many other shows like going on that's just like pick and choose like what you're gonna go to because there's so much to choose from. Like it's kind of like you're gonna miss out on something because you're gonna go to something else, you know?
Right.
And even within the DIY scene, the DIY venues are really picking up too.
So
now, it seems to me like the United States is taking a page from Europe when they're booking especially summer music. You know, a lot of times the bands would just go on tour all across the country, you know, to hit like 30, 40, 50 dates. But a lot of bands can't necessarily do that. And so it seems like more and more they're setting the festivals where bands will go to a central festival, play there a couple of times over a weekend, and go on to the next one. It cuts off travel time and you make a little bit more money. Is that what's happening? Are you seeing more festivals being played out more, or?
I'm seeing a lot more people doing like summer festivals, and even like smaller festivals. People are doing annual ones. Like there's been a few in the suburbs, and I feel like every year, like Punk the Burbs was doing an annual one for a while, and then like.
No, you can just close it.
And then like Beer Can Fest was doing one. They're doing one this year. And then there's a couple other ones in Blue Island. Last year we played Hoof Fest. That was in August of last year. That was like the first one. It was a really cool thing. They're doing another one this year. It's Sweetie's the one that puts that on, the band Sweetie, and it was a lot of fun last year. So there's a lot of like I see a lot more like DIY festivals starting. And I do see like bigger ones that are starting too, where I feel like festivals. A lot of people want to be doing that. Like,
it seems like it. It seems like I remember when the granddaddy of them all started, and that was Lollapalooza, and but that was like the one big one, and and then they had the Vans. Vans had a festival going on there, and then.
Warped Tour. You're thinking of Warped Tour, Patrick.
Yeah, Warped Tour. And then there was the Gathering of the Tribes. But I don't know if the Warped Tour is still going on. I think it ended, didn't it?
They ended it. They brought it back. It's coming back.
Is it coming back? Okay.
So I saw a thing for it in Chicago where I think like My Chemical Romance is playing, and I was like, I might go to Warped Tour.
Yeah. Okay. I remember early on in the Riot Fest days before it like turned into what it is now. It was like a very, very small thing at first, Oh
yeah, I went to when it was the one weekend. It was the first day. It was Social Distortion. The next day it was the Danzig Legacy, where Doyle played with Danzig, and then James's brother got me tickets for the Descendants. Oh, there we go.
How dare you? We're waiting for a long time. Patrick's crying so much. Patrick, she's here. Are you okay now, Pat?
No, listen to you. Go back to that Rick Springfield already.
Well, all right. Well, he's in the bathroom. Okay, I'll go back to my Rick Springfield. All right, go ahead.
Besides, my very first question to Maria, and I've been dying to ask this because I already know the answer, but I want to hear her say it. So what does Hello Kitty mean to you?
That's my favorite cartoon when I was a kid. I named my cat after that.
You named your cat Hello Kitty?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Can we turn it up?
It's as long as it goes. This computer's 14 years old.
Okay.
It's doing the job.
And it's still running.
And I think Ant is a big Hello Kitty fan, and I am definitely a big Hello Kitty fan. My wife was a huge Hello Kitty, so I like the term how you use a sad Hello Kitty punk. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great description for our band. It fits us perfectly. For sure.
Oh, Hello Kitty punk. I heard monk.
Yeah, he said he really likes
that was this one guy. Did you tell him the story?
Nope,
Who
you
said that?
can tell him.
We played a Helm Fest. It's like a show.
It was
Elgin,
a DIY fest
in the art gallery
that we played.
Right. And this one guy comes in. He goes to shows a lot. He dressed up as Jesus, and he parties. He like runs in the circle pit.
You've probably seen him at shows before. He's been at stuff. That's why. Sorry.
So James has been lying to us about not being in the United States then for a while.
No, I can't hear.
This isn't about me. It's about them, Pat. Don't get me.
But they're saying a guy that looked like Jesus is in the pit, and I'm just thinking you with that long hair. I can definitely see it happening.
I'm a fan of Jesus. If Jesus was 210 pounds, he'd look like me, but he wasn't. Skinny. So maybe he was. I don't know. All right, but Pat, don't make this about me. Make it about them. Go ahead. Ask Andy about how much ketchup he puts on his hamburgers or something.
Oh, and we do have questions.
Oh, yeah.
So, my co-host, James, we did an internet poll about stream, and we asked people what their questions would be to ask Sex Dream. And so we picked the top 3. So my co-host James will read the top 3.
And my David Attenborough voice, okay?
And you guys got to answer the questions.
All right. So here we go. So Stevie B from Boise, Idaho asks, "Dear Sex Dream,
be louder.
Shut up, all right?
Yeah, I can't hear. I'm gonna sit here.
Okay.
It's like
Stevie from Boise, Idaho says.
no, just talk.
Okay.
Okay. Use my voice.
Inside voice.
All right. I will. Relax, all right?
Yeah, I'm super close, so I can hear it.
Okay. Well, then I'll get super close too. Stevie B from Boise, Idaho asks, "Dear Sex Dream, when you guys are angry at each other, who throws the shoes first?"
I am.
All right. Well, that's
angry.
I throw. All right. So, like now, Maria, when you throw your shoes, do you throw it like this?
Right in the face.
Only when she's hangry.
Like that? Okay.
Well, it's hard with the Chuckies because you gotta you can't just slip these off, you know.
All right. I gotta tie my shoe back here. Anthony, read the second one.
The second one
Read it in your Robert Englund voice.
Okay. Now I have a question for you while they're figuring out their other question. Have you ever had a show that's gotten so crazy that you've had to put the microphone on somebody's noggin?
No, we haven't had to do anything like that, thankfully, but you never know.
I couldn't understand. Put my what?
Like
hit someone with a
because they
start
were
a fight.
start a fight or
Okay, got you. It happened to me back in Russia when I played in Surfingbird. That happened.
See, I had a feeling about this. So yeah, that's why I asked the question. How did you get your name of Surfing Bird? I love it. Is this Surfing Bird or Surfing Bird?
What's the difference?
There is not. There isn't any.
It's no G. It's IN. Yeah, it's like surf.
Oh yeah, no G. Facebook made me add G to my name because they said it's not a real name, so I added G. and now it looks like it's a real name. Like I passed.
Facebook. Okay, all right, Pat, here we go. Second one. Jay Cage, 007 from San Antonio asks, who is the sleepiest member of the band?
The sleepiest?
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, that's me for sure.
He's the drummer. That makes sense. All right, he works hard. Okay, he's the hardest.
All right, last question.
All right,
last email.
All right. So, Andrew, I think
You're not gonna ask him what's their favorite way of eating potatoes, are you?
that was one of. I just ate mashed potatoes with chopsticks right now. So yeah, sorry about that. All right, good. All right, so last one. Mark N from Naperville, Illinois asks, "Hey, Sexstream, what's your favorite breakfast cereal? I'll start. Mine is Cap'n Crunch mixed berries with almond milk." So, all right. Can I get to Andrews?
Yeah, go for it.
Frankenberries. Is that a cereal?
Frankenberry is a cereal. Yeah.
All right, good.
That is a cereal. Mine is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Well, all right, now Kirk's probably like basic, like Cheerios with honey or something.
No, I'm gonna say I like Frosted Mini Wheats. But not
That's my jam too.
All right, and then what do you think Maria's favorite cereal is?
Blueberry.
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 If we're going monster cereals,
I think Maria's will be Lucky Charms.
Okay, can I say now?
yeah.
Cereal.
No cereal?
No, I don't eat cereal. I eat chocolate in the morning. Straight chocolate. Straight up chocolate.
What about
And black coffee. No.
But what about Cocoa Puffs? That's chocolate, isn't it?
It is.
No milk.
No milk, nothing like that.
No, okay.
I'm against milk.
I can't do dairy. I feel you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maria, how old were you when you moved to the United States from Russia?
I moved here 6 years ago. Yeah, it's been 6 years on April 18th.
Your English is spotless. You speak better than I do.
Nah. But thank you.
I tell her English is good. It is.
Yeah, her English is excellent. How do you like it so far here?
I like it. I do like it. But while driving here today, I was thinking about how sad it is because there's a lot of roadkill, and it breaks my heart. We gotta do something about it. Like, it's 2024. People should figure it out how to not kill animals while we're driving. You know.
They build those bridges in some places.
Oh,
that
the turtle
go
ones that go
under or over. Yeah. Those
right.
Cool.
Yeah. We have a few. We have a few of those up north of Michigan. We have a few of those on the road too. And I'm with you, Maria. Me and my wife, we lived in a little town called Northville, and the main road there was 7 Mile Road, and we used to call that the Bloody Mile because, man, animals would just be getting hit, and so I just got tired of it, and I started just taking them off the road. My wife came home one day. I think the friendly man might have heard this story, but she came home one day and she said that someone hit a tortoise. And I'm going like, what do you mean someone hit a tortoise? And I said, in the road? It says, yeah. So I go outside and sure enough, someone had hit a snapping turtle. It was a huge ass snapping turtle. And it was probably about 60 pounds. And someone hit it. And I just like, how stupid are you to hit a turtle? But that's our driver over here.
Yeah, those things can get huge too.
Yeah, we have one every year. It goes from the pond by us to the woods, I guess, to lay its eggs, and I call it Todd the Turtle. But it's a snapping turtle, and it'll get in the road. Stop! He's distracting me.
I'm translating for him.
All right, it'll get in the middle of the road, and I have to pick this thing up and put it in the grass. And I'm like, I'm using a finger, and they're heavy as shit.
Yeah,
they can bite you if they want. Like,
and you don't want to get hit by those things.
You can. I mean,
No,
have I? No. No, but those big ones. I mean,
I love
it. We used to have one.
snapping turtles can get to like over 100 pounds, and if you're not careful, they can take your fingers off, clean off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Not a problem. You'll be walking around like this.
They'll be calling me Tony Nine Fingers.
Hobbs wants to know if we can ask Ant about waffle maker recipes. Oh, don't unleash the ant.
You know, Hobbs.
Wait a minute. Wait.
We've
Stop,
moved
stop,
on from waffle makers.
Stop.
Okay,
Stop.
James.
Hobbs, we cannot answer any of these questions to us until the 30th when we're on the Have Cheetah Will View Friendly Men. This is specifically a sex stream episode.
That's true.
Save that question for the 30th. Now, ask Maria about her waffle maker. She might tell you. All right, let's reverse those questions about them. Go ahead.
I don't know.
No questions from them. We're not answering anything today. It's sex stream and sex stream only. And we're going to dream of sex. I mean, sex stream. We're going to dream of sex stream. Okay. Oh, okay. So, all right. What? Stop it.
How old were you? What did you get your start as far as singing goes, Maria? I mean, how old were you when you joined your first band?
I don't know. Let me think.
Question, Pat. That was a great
Pretty
question.
late. I think I was 20,
Oh,
21.
nice.
I don't know. Something like that.
Now, did they have a lot of? I mean, I know that I know it's a little different now in Russia than it was a few years ago. But do they still let you play live music in Russia? Could you play? Could you play bands? So you can still play in punk rock in Russia without getting any trouble.
As long as you don't say some bad stuff about Putin. Talk shit about him. He's gonna get your ass.
So if you go out there and say fuck Putin, then you end up in Siberia,
Somewhere like that.
something like that. Yeah.
You end up in Illinois if you say stuff like that, right, Maria?
So what was it like when you came to America and you got your first taste of American music? What did you think about it? Were you impressed with it? Did you think that there's some bands in Russia that kicked ass over? Do you think American punk rock is pretty strong, or what's your opinion about it?
Well, I came here to see my favorite bands, so yeah.
Oh, what's your favorite band?
I've been visiting before. It's not like I just moved right away. First time I came to the US, it was like 2012, because I heard that Dr. Frank was gonna play. What is it? The Fest in Baltimore.
Oh,
Insubordination.
Yeah, Insubordination Fest.
So I was like, oh my God, I have to go to the US somehow. I have to figure it out.
Who's
So,
your favorite?
yeah,
Who's your favorite band?
Huh?
Who's your favorite band?
Favorite bands.
Yeah, I know, but it's hard to answer that question. Like, a lot. MTX, Queers, Weasel, Riverdales, Blondie, Ramones, Dickies.
Wow, she said Blondie. That's pretty hype.
The Muffs. I forgot the Muffs.
The Muffs. Oh, we were just talking about the Muffs last week.
We were. That was
Yeah.
Saturday. We were just talking about the Muffs on Saturday.
That's right. Have you ever heard of a band called Jaded Truth?
No.
Oh, you will. you will. Great Canadian band. They're on their way up. So when you got here and you decided to join a band, what was how did you go about to join a band? Did you were the people come looking for you when they heard you sing, or did you put an ad up?
No, I already knew Andrew because I was visiting before.
Oh, okay.
And he and I were looking for a guitarist, and we had a couple friends who joined us. That wasn't Kirk.
And then who came up with the idea of the name Sex Dream?
It was kind of all of us. I remember telling the guys, like, hey, I want something sexy and dreamy. Pretty dumb. Yeah, no, I think our guitarist, old one, he had a sex dream, something like that. He said, "Don't tell my girlfriend." I had a sex dream last night about my ex-girlfriend.
So what was it like for you the first time you hit the stage on a band? I mean, the first time you played out live, what was it like for you? I mean, and you two, Kurt and Andrew, tell us about that. What was your first experience like playing in front of a live crowd and getting paid for it?
I don't know about getting paid, but my first experience actually was pretty fun. The Queers went to Russia the first time. They've been there twice now, but the first time they went to Russia, my ex-boyfriend's band opened for them, and they let me sing Riverdale Stomp with them, and they opened for the Queers. So that was my first show singing. I was so scared.
Oh, yeah. Did you have stage fright?
Huh?
Did you have stage fright the first time you sang?
Not actually like a stage fright, but I was scared that Joe Queer are gonna hear me. If it makes sense, you know.
Yeah, man, the Queers, man, they've had.
Huh?
I think they've had 50 members in their band since they started. I think they've had about 50 members. I had a friend of mine named Scott Kofer. He played with the Queers for like a year.
Yeah.
So the first time you played out, did you know when you were on the stage? Did you feel at home on the stage? Like, this is where I belong. This is what I want to do with the rest of my life.
No, I went so fast and I couldn't hear anything.
Oh. Well, so you learned the very first thing in American music, right? You learned something right there. And what's the first thing that every American musician always says when they set up? What's the first thing, Andrew and Kurt?
When they mess up?
No. What's the first thing a musician asks for when they get on stage? What's the first thing they always ask for? The very first thing they ask for when they're on stage.
I don't know. We ask a lot. No, not really.
More monitor, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the very first thing. When you become a musician, the very first thing you'll ask for, can I have more monitor, please? Unless you're in the Bay City Rollers, then you just ask them to turn on the tape.
Yeah, I know how many people would tell you to sing loud. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh my!
What are you asking for? Think about it.
No, they. Oh my God! I know you're sitting there, and it truly is. It's like, more monitor, please, more monitor, and you're like, and the sound guy's like, okay, and that's it. That's the very first thing they ask. Nobody ever asks for snacks. Nobody ever asks for beer. Nobody ever asks for anything. The very first thing I ever ask for when they get on stage is more monitor.
Stop sign languaging. No, in our shows, like people, like the shows we go to, people are like, more beer. And then instead of saying monitor, they say, put more of this thing into this thing. It's very vague. It's very, very vague. Yeah.
And I thought you were going to say Malort.
I know, right? Andrew probably goes to say, hey, is there Malort in the house?
I was leaning towards that. That was my, alcohol was my first thought.
Andrew doesn't care if he can't hear me in the monitor. He's like, I'm fine.
Yeah, well, going back to your question, like the first time, like I played a show, I was extremely nervous, and it was a house party that my friend was throwing, and my friends' bands were playing that I liked, and they were like, even though they were my friends, like I looked up to them as musicians, seeing them play live, like kind of got me interested and made me kind of like want to try that, do that, and I was still very, my first show I played, I was 15 in high school, first show I ever played anywhere. Like I've only was playing drums for like a year, and I remember being so nervous, like the day of, I felt like I wanted to puke, you know what I mean? Like you have that feeling, but like once I got on there and started playing, it felt really good. It felt amazing. And then, afterwards, like I don't know, like the feeling I got from like, you know, the adrenaline rush you get from playing, like it was just, you know, it was like phenomenal and great. And I wouldn't say like that then, you know, there and then that's like knew what I want to do, but I knew then like it was something I really enjoyed to do and something I wanted to do, but I didn't know it would last this long and I would like it this much. So it's been pretty awesome.
Now, how long has the band been together? How long has Sextreme played together?
Well, we kind of started right before 2020, so I'd say about like 4 years. But you know, during like the pandemic and stuff, things slowed down and not much was going on. But like, I would say like 4 years we've been together.
Let's see. Hobbs has a question for Sextreme. Are you guys fans of Danzig or hardcore punk bands like Alan?
Gigi Allen.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd say it.
Allen.
No, it's Brian Allen. Yes.
Byron Allen, yeah, that's right.
You know, my other old band, it's called Gigillas because of Gigi Allen. It was all girl band.
Uh-huh. And you guys played Gigi Allen music?
We played By the Days Come as their first song, like practice.
God. Have you did you ever hear of Gigi Allen? I mean you heard about him? How God, did they have Gigi Allen in Russia?
What just happened?
You know you guys know who Gigi Allen are, right?
Yes,
Of course.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm just wondering how he got over to Russia. I don't think that guy. Oh, okay.
They
I
banned
don't know if he was born, but
Never got around.
definitely heard about him over there for sure.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
no
Yeah.
Gigi in Russia. No more Gigi. We have Brian Allen.
What's the funnest time that you've had? You know, as far as playing goes, what's been the best crowd that you guys have played? What's the biggest crowd you guys have ever played in front of?
The biggest?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would probably say one of the best shows we ever have is definitely at a house venue. Like house shows are always like really good for us. I would say definitely
My memory is not that good.
like playing in a full house, full basement with like your friends' bands at like one of your friends like house venue. Like that was definitely one of like
Pretty sure we played a sold out show at Brad G's on a smaller stage right after COVID.
yeah, that was right after COVID. That was
We
like our
played
first
something
show.
else. I forget what it
Oh,
was.
I would say the other biggest show we played was probably He Who Corrupts.
Oh
That was
Yeah.
for sure. That was probably definitely one of the biggest ones and biggest crowds for sure.
I was at that show. That was a phenomenal show.
Yeah, June of last year.
Yeah, that was awesome. I want to see them again.
Yeah, hope they play
Well,
again.
played so many times, and like growing up, like when I was in like high school and right out of high school, they played the Fireside Bowl like once a month.
Yeah.
And so like I grew up watching them. And so where they played Punk Rock Tacos, I'm like, man, I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got like whiplash from headbanging.
Yeah, that was an amazing show. We were
was a
so
good
lucky to be part of that.
Yeah. I wasn't there, but he was there.
Okay.
You can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was on YouTube.
It's
Yeah.
not the same. Same concerts are not the same. Watching them on YouTube. I can listen to this guy scream in my ear for 2 hours. So, all right. Well, Pat, bring it back to you, Pat. I feel like I'm in like one of those news meetings. Like, no, back to you, Patrick. What do you have to say? Go ahead, Pat.
Well, your question.
So let's go with have you guys have gone on? You mentioned and Andrew mentioned about or before you got here, Maria, that you like to see Sextreme go on the road a little bit more. Have you guys ever toured before? Have you gotten out and toured at least Illinois or Indiana or places like that?
No, we mostly played Illinois, and we only played out of state a couple times, which was in Wisconsin. But yeah, This
I hear
year,
Wisconsin, I
goal
hear
of ours
Wisconsin
this
has a
summer is
pretty good.
definitely getting out more and playing like out of state and doing kind of like a little bit of touring just to to expand and
Where are we going out of the state? We're not going out.
Indianapolis.
yeah, we're going to Indianapolis in August. We're playing
Punk rock night.
yeah, punk rock,
Melody Inn.
yeah, at the Melody Inn, punk rock night, Melody Inn. That's in August. And then we have a couple things we're trying to set up in Milwaukee and Madison, but that's still like pending. But definitely trying to book this summer out of town. You really like to maybe do something East Coast. That'd be fun, like New York. We love New York.
Yeah, a really hot spot for punk rock I hear is Dayton, Ohio. You guys ever thought about touring Ohio?
Yes, definitely. I remember there being a pop punk scene in Dayton, Ohio for sure. And there's this one band back in the day. I remember seeing them at house shows in where I lived in the Chicagoland suburbs. I think their name was Delay, and they were from Dayton, Ohio. But they were, I don't know, I don't think they're still around, or they were short-lived at the time. But yeah, I remember there being a pretty good scene out there. I remember hearing a bunch of pop punk bands.
Yeah, here's this. Hobbs is actually from Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, and rumor has it he's a big mover and shaker out there in Ohio as far as punk rock goes. Don't know if he's still active in it in doing shows, but he was a big punker at one time.
Nice. Yeah, definitely would like to play the Midwest more for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, how did you get the gig in Indianapolis? Did you get invited for that?
No, we were trying to play there for a while, but it's just it's hard to get responses, and it's been like so booked up. And then finally we got like an email back, but they were so far booked out. The earliest stuff they had was in August, and like we probably booked this probably the end of last year, beginning of this year. So
Yeah, Punk Rock Night has like a really good draw because like that's the place to go in Indianapolis. Like my last band had played that a couple of times, so it's kind of a big thing out there. And it's cool. They're all live streamed too, so
yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. You know what? I never even thought about that. Clubs doing live streams, but I guess that's something. I guess that's new. But again, you also need to cover your ass on that too. If they're doing live streams and they're showing you out there, you got to make sure that make sure you get your ass covered as far as releases go. You don't want them to go ahead and take advantage of you guys.
That's why you gotta wear pants. Get your ass
What's
covered.
the cat?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that are unfortunately. I mean, even today, there's still promoters out there that don't always have the band's best interest at heart. What's it like? Yeah. What's it like? How easy is it for you guys to book shows in Chicago? Is it pretty easy? I mean, do you have a big enough name and draw that when when clubs call you, do clubs call you, or do you call them for bookings?
I wouldn't say necessarily clubs necessarily come calling, but usually we have to email a lot of places. But a lot of the shows we do get is from other bands offering us shows. I would say that's the majority of the shows we get, but we've also made connections and are starting to like book more ourselves. But it's definitely been hard.
Honestly, if we had a manager who would do that, it would be much easier because I have to do all the stuff.
Is that hard? Is that hard? Do you get treated with respect, Maria, when you call the clubs and talk to the talent buyers? Do they treat you with respect?
I don't call anybody.
Oh, you email?
Email.
Smoke signals.
Talk through email. I don't even talk about it.
Well, it's the same. It's the same extension. Do they answer your email right away in a timely fashion, or do you find yourself having to email 2 or 3 times before they give you a response?
Honestly, it depends. Some shows they hit you up, they email you and say, "Hey, this is what's going on." Some other places you would have to email.
Now, I'm just curious. I'm just curious in this sense too, because because I worked in the business for 10 years. But Do you guys get paid? Do you get paid pretty well? I mean, I'm thinking Chicago. You guys have a name. You guys have records out. Do you get compensated pretty fairly? Is that something bands still have to worry about in today's market? I mean,
I think it's
Yeah, you always have to worry about if they're gonna pay you.
And I would say we usually get something, but it's usually never like a crazy amount. But I would say for most shows we usually get paid, and like most of the money comes from us selling merch. Definitely.
Yep.
they don't.
Thanks everyone who bought that merch.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and thank you everyone listening and asking questions. Really cool.
Hop says, see, I wish the Muffs had come to Dayton. We had the Go-Go's and the B-52s, but we didn't have any Muffs. Yeah, it would have been cool. You really would have loved the Muffs. Yeah, they played Marsugis. That's on YouTube. Yeah, I just asked that question because I mean I haven't done it in way forever, but I was just wondering if some things have changed for the better for bands, like are bands actually being treated a little bit better than, because I admit back in my day, I mean, we didn't really always pay our local bands. You know, we tried at Marsugi's. I can say that. I mean, a band could especially local bands, if they went out there and really blistered their ass, they could actually take a pretty good payday. I mean, even the openers. But it's sort of ironic too. The smaller clubs actually will pay better than the bigger clubs. Bigger clubs will give you like $50, a couple of drink tickets, and thank you for coming. Where some of the smaller clubs will be happy to have you and give you like a percentage of the door, and you can, like I said, you can make pretty good money.
I'll tell you more. Like when we play our friend's house venue called the Dark Room, we get more money than we play at like a venue in the city.
Not
all venues, but some venues.
So live. So they're doing house parties with a punk, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a decent amount of DIY house venues popping up now.
Now, how do they get away with playing it without getting their neighbors on it?
Like all ages shows. Yeah.
Yeah, well, all ages shows are usually the best.
Yeah. Oh man, you sell a ton of merch too. Because the kids are gonna buy merch. Adults will will go to the bar. So yeah, you're right. All ages.
The kids having fun because they usually dance around and they get excited about music.
Yeah, isn't that not? Music is a universal language. It really is. Everybody knows good music.
Except for Anthony.
Let's talk a little bit about the songwriting. Now, you mentioned when I asked you earlier, Maria, on in the letter, my email. I said, would you be willing to play a couple of songs? And you're saying, well, you were like a little reluctant because you said you think it would sound very good, but that's punk rock, though, right? I mean, no one ever writes a clean punk rock song. That's what makes it great. Is when it's not great. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I don't want to listen to an opera. I want to listen to punk rock.
Yeah, but it's different when you play live and you film it, and you would have to have some sort of equipment for that, or you're just gonna hear old drums. I don't know, just noise.
I think Andrew could have broke out the brush drums. He could have put out the brushes.
I think I've got a cowbell somewhere around here.
Or maybe Andy can slap his legs, like he could slap his.
Kurt could have brought out the acoustic guitar, and then Maria could have just, Then you play bass. You're the bass player. Where did you learn how to play bass at, Maria?
I don't know, nowhere. Can you tell? I was watching Judy Ramone playing, and Miguel from Teenage Bottle Rocket.
So you learned to play bass on your own. No one taught you. See, that's punk rock as fuck right there. Now, what do you think, Kurt and Andrew? What do you think? How good of a bass player is Maria?
Maria's great.
I think she's good. Yeah.
She's her own worst critic, but she writes a lot of amazing stuff.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And her bass guitar matches her microphone. It's all pink.
Sure, matches very well.
Is it all Hello Kitty?
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. Now, do you have Hello Kitty on your bass?
No.
She does have another bass that has a cat on it, though.
Okay, that's good. Cats must be your favorite animal.
Definitely.
And I owe you so large for this.
Oh, you don't owe me nothing, dude.
This is epic.
Oh, what's the cat in the corner here? We keep seeing a cat in the corner.
That's
that
Anthony. Wait, no, sorry.
That is actually a cheetah.
Oh yeah, that's Patrick's cat.
Yeah, that's my cat. He's half cheetah. I don't know what Chap is, but he is half cheetah. His name is Paladin.
Paladin?
Paladin, yeah.
Nice. He's adorable.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about songwriting, because that's always an interesting aspect of punk rock music. Because who are we raging against this week, right? Are we raging against the government? Are we raging against the establishment? What are we raging against? So what goes into writing a song for Sex Dream?
I write everything.
Yeah, Maria is inspired, and then she works her magic and writes something awesome for us.
Getting inspired.
Wow, hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
That's my inspiration for today.
Now what cat? That's your cat that you named, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's beautiful. Yeah, he's beautiful.
That's a girl. Her name is Brisket.
Brisket.
Yeah,
Brisket.
like me.
I thought that was Hello Kitty.
That's not pink, Pat.
That was a pink cat.
Well, okay.
That was a kid.
Let's see. Mr. Bones is sitting there saying he just went to check out your channel and he loved it. And Hobbs is showing the muffs at Marsugi's. Yes, you can watch that video and you'll see me in that video from a long time ago. Mr. Bones saying you sing and have one of the guys slap the legs. Who cares, right, James? Right? Yeah, you can.
That's a knee slap.
No, James.
Stop.
Hey, have fast pace. Oh! Yeah.
Oh my! We just unleashed the Bay City Rollers on you. Sorry about that.
SATURDAY night.
David Ambrose. Go ahead, Patrick. Back to you.
So back to songwriting. What inspires you to write your songs, Maria? What do you look for to inspire you? I mean, it's a whole really different world out there. So, I mean, where do you go with your songwriting?
Okay, it's hard to tell now. Because last couple of songs I wrote just my thoughts about stuff, but I don't like to be super honest. So I just say stuff metaphorically, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Before it was a lot of broken-hearted songs, but I kind of changed it. Tired of singing about my heart being broken.
So basically you're sort of like the Taylor Swift of punk rock, then, right?
No. I prefer Britney Spears.
Yeah, can you describe?
Are we gonna hear names of your ex-boyfriends in your songs?
No, I don't do that.
Can you guys describe the cover songs you do when you play a live set? What cover songs do you do? Because every time I see you do Britney Spears, Meow Mix, and then a random obscure Ramones song.
True.
SLUG is like one of the most obscure Ramones songs. And I love it so much. I sing along, but Is that all the cover songs? Did I just name it? Did I answer my own question?
Yeah, those are the three main ones we do.
Wait, you guys play the Meow Mix song?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one that goes meow 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 meow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do acapella. Maria, do it acapella.
Yeah,
Meow,
we got
meow,
our
meow,
Meow Mix remix.
Oh my gosh, my new favorite band right here for damn sure. This is it.
Yes, thank you.
You know what? I want to hear Maria sing the Meow Mix song.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Maria, can you do
Yeah,
it?
basically. Come on, acapella, Maria.
Anywhere.
Come on, go ahead. Do the Meow Mix song for us.
No.
There's a car right over there.
Please.
Speaking of Meow Mix, here's my cat since we're showing off cats now.
Hell yeah!
All right, let's have Kurt do the meow.
Wow, he's
Go ahead,
beautiful
Kurt. Do
too.
it. You're the new guy.
Wait a minute,
Go,
Kurt, you got a cat? Kurt, you got a cat?
Yeah. No. Kurt does the meow mix. Go ahead, Kurt.
Okay, let's hear Meow Mix.
We think
Yeah, might
the
have to be.
membership in sex stream. I didn't think about that because we
Maria
usually.
doesn't know I'm allergic to cats yet, so cat's out of the bag now.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I
Oh
don't
my God.
dislike cats, though.
You can just get a hairless cat then,
True.
and put a
That's
sweater
true.
on.
Give him some
Wait a
lotion.
minute, Kurt's allergic to cats?
Yes, we just found out.
Damn.
Well, you want me to go ahead and make the new guitar quantum sign
Yeah.
for you?
I usually ask the new people a couple questions if they like MTX, and they gotta say yes. And what's
Okay.
the
I
other
got that
question?
one, yeah.
And if they like
Painting
Malort,
Edition, too.
that was kind of joke. But it's these still
They're good.
passed.
Do you like
More than-
MTX and do you like MTX and do you like cats? And if they say yes, yeah.
Malort.
Well, I'm still waiting for the Meow Mix song. I'm
Oh no.
You got to come to a show for that.
Anthony's gonna do
You got to come out there for a show.
You know what, Ant? You know what, Ant? You better bootleg a bootleg Meow Mix for me next time you see Sex Dream.
All right.
I'll record it,
Pat.
Pat. I'll
Anthony
record
just
it.
did it. All right. He just did.
You know what? You know how raging that mosh pit must be when they break out that song.
Oh, dude, I headbang so hard to it. I'm just headbanging the Meow Mix. Like, it's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I'm 42 years old and I'm headbanging to the theme song of the Meow Mix.
That is like the best thing ever on this show right here. Seriously, 430 episodes, and knowing that a band's doing Meow Mix for a song is just like that's just that's just absolutely rules.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Now you mentioned something too, Maria, that I caught toward right before we got into the cover songs, and I'm curious about this too. This is interesting. You said that when you write your songs that you sort of have to pull your punch, and you write it metaphorically. Do you is that because of the state of where we're at now? Do you feel like your voice is censored here as a songwriter? Do you feel like you can't really sing the songs that you really want because of the way of it is here in the United States?
No, not like I don't do politics, nothing like that at all. Just more personal stuff.
Okay,
I like the vision sometimes.
that would be great. You know how sad that if you felt that way, or any songwriter felt that. What about you two, Andrew and Kurt? Do you feel that? Do you feel like as a band, do you feel like you sort of have to be a little bit more careful with the songs that you sing, the lyrics that you write? Is that a concern for you? Have you noticed a change in rhetoric? As far as talking to fans or other bands, we played a town and they didn't like our songs because they thought it was, it just didn't suit them. Have you heard any backlash, about bands being treated, rough on tour?
No, not from my experience. I haven't you know, we haven't had to like deal with anything like that.
I think we're a fun band.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't like, we don't try to go political, don't try to be like offensive or something. We just love to have fun. That's what we do, and that's our music is about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not scared that we're gonna say something and people are not gonna like it.
Mhm.
We're pretty friendly. I don't know. We're like candy. You don't like candy? It's on you.
It's sort of like more like pop punk, if anything else, right? I mean, do you describe your sound as pop punk?
Describe it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sex Dream is more pop. It's more poppy. That's a good thing, though. It's not a bad thing. It's no disrespect, but you guys are more like pop punk, right? You know, a little bit of hooks, you know, a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more cheerful. Because a lot of punk bands, that's what they thrive on. They thrive on the political aspect of things. That's a lot of punk rocks. That's what they do. Until they get older, and realize that they want to get paid. Then they become more corporate rock.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think if we write political songs, we'll get money?
No. I think you'll get. No, a lot of bands will play that political when they first start out, because they're all protests, right? But as soon as they get a little older, a little bit more wiser, then they realize that, you know, they want to get paid for their music. You know, they want to make records, they want to sell them. You know, they want to record. It's like, you know, and you need money for that. You know, so you know, because a lot of times, a lot of kids, especially those all ages shows, you'll hear those kids always talk about sellouts, and you know, and it's like, you know, you're not selling out. You're maturing as a band. Your sound and your words and your lyrics and your music are all maturing.
I haven't had this word for a while. I feel like it's all in the past. Don't you guys think? I don't think anybody talks about sellout and stuff.
I think it is a bit more kind of understanding in this day and age. Like, people are just kind of listening to whatever they like, you know, which is good. So
yeah,
I think so too. That's what I used to tell the bands too. It's like anybody that used that term sellout, it's most of the time, like 95% of the time, just didn't use it the right way. They didn't understand it. They just said it because they heard somebody else say it. But what kind of crowds do you guys draw? I mean, are you drawing more of an over 21 crowd or under 21 crowd?
I think we're a band for any age.
Both.
Honestly, all ages.
Yeah.
It's us.
Right.
Natural crowd. Yeah. Go.
Ant, you got any questions?
I got one last question, then we can wrap it up. This is for all members of Sex Dream. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh my god, I thought about it driving here. That's crazy. I just thought about it randomly.
What's your superpower then?
I was thinking I want to be Rogue, you know, from X-Men, but
Where you absorb people's energy?
No, fly and be super strong so I could save all the animals.
Okay.
That's me.
All right, Andrew.
I was gonna say super strength. I would think.
I took it. That's my.
Well, you said flying too, so.
I said Rogue, so
Yeah.
it's like everything.
Yeah, it
That's
is everything. Kurt, what you got?
you have to freeze time. I'm a guy who likes to sleep in. You hit the alarm, you freeze the time, wake up on your own accord.
It's Piper from Charming.
But that's like an episode of the Twilight Zone to where like you're gonna die at like age 20 because you just kept sleeping all this time.
And that Adam Sandler movie.
And Adam Sandler. I think that was.
I love Adam Sandler.
I don't need to fast forward. I just want to be able to like pause the game, take a little nap during the day, and not lose that hour. You know.
That would be a good one. Patrick, what's your superpower?
To be able to sing the Meow Mix song.
You can do that right now. I want chicken. I want liver. Meow mix, please deliver.
You got it.
Look at Ant showing off those skills.
You could do a death metal style. You're a death metal singer.
I was a death metal singer. That's right.
Yeah, how would you sing the Meow Mix song as a heavy metal guy, James?
I want chicken, I want liver, meow mix, please.
Mispronunciation.
Okay, so here's my last question to you guys, and it's with a nod to my good friends James and Ann up there, and Jonas and Absentia. But what's your favorite way? What's your favorite way to eat potatoes?
Oh, good question.
Oh.
Good question.
Pat, you devil, you devil.
That's like something Larry King would ask.
Yeah, but ask him like Larry King. Oh, what? How's the best way to eat the mashed potatoes?
No, just any potatoes. How do you eat it?
Mine.
The correct answer is mashed potatoes.
Shut up. Let's let them answer their own thing. Go ahead.
Maria first.
Okay.
What's your favorite way to eat potatoes?
You first.
I like roasted.
There you go. Good answer. Andrew,
fried.
good answer. Kurt,
I like the little ones on the grill.
there you
Tater
go.
tot? Tater tot?
Question for Andrew, what is the best shape of fry?
Best shape of
Like
fry.
a crinkle cut,
Skinny, I like skinny fry. Curly fry is good too.
I don't know. I really like curly fries, but I'd probably go like the straight home style fries, like hand cut
I
fries.
had fries today. My tummy hurts.
All right, so that will wrap this fun, very, very fun interview up. I had an absolute blast talking to Sex Dream. We'll definitely got to have you guys come back for sure.
Definitely. A lot of fun.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Sorry I
Oh
was
my God,
late.
thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. Thanks to Ant for helping arrange this. Thanks to James for hanging in there as co-pilot, and we will see you guys again on the 30th. Real quick, what is Sex Dream going to be doing next? Is there anything upcoming show-wise that your fans should know about? What do you guys got coming up?
We have a show this Saturday at Bellwood.
In Bellwood for the Loose Squares magazine release party. So it's with our friend's band Clear Coat, and it's in Bellwood, Illinois, which is about for me in Lombard it was like, I don't know, 20-ish minutes. So another like suburb show this Saturday, but it should be fun. It's for
I think it's like in a warehouse.
Yeah, it's like a skateboard.
yeah, it's like a skate park warehouse for magazine release party. So it'd be pretty cool. Loose Squares.
Are you gonna be? Are you featured in the magazine?
No.
I'm not sure what the first issue is. I don't know if necessarily will be, but it's I'm not exactly sure. Maybe the second.
Okay. We put all your links, social media links. People can listen to you guys on Spotify. We're following you on Spotify, and if you guys all want to go over there to check out, and actually, if you need to download to get their albums, they have 2 albums out. And do you have any other? Do you have 2 albums and an EP, or just 2 albums?
We have music videos too.
Music videos, yeah.
A bunch of stuff, but most of it's on Spotify, Bandcamp, and YouTube. And you can find everything from our Instagram. So all of our like link tree and links are on that. So you can find everything, all of our merch, all of our music, all of our upcoming shows. So a lot of good stuff on our link tree from our Instagram.
You guys like Buffy?
I do. We like Buffy and we like Angel.
How about Spike?
Spike was kick ass on Angel. He got redeemed. He got redeemed, and he was pretty kick ass.
Because we have a song called Spike, and there's a music video.
James were watching it earlier, and James was like bringing up the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie.
Oh, that.
Perry, I'm like, no, this is the TV show.
Not the TV show, the movie?
Yeah, we were talking about the old movie with Christy Swanson and Rutger Hauer, Donald Sutherland, Luke Perry's in there.
Pee Wee
Perry, yeah. That's a fun movie.
All right. Tomorrow night, we'll be back here at 8:00 for 8 Questions With, and we will be welcoming in Spooky Kisses. and we'll be talking with Spooky Kisses about their show, Spooky Kisses Haunts. They will be here at 8 o'clock. Cannot wait to talk to Spooky. They've done 2 seasons of going up and down the East Coast to some of the best haunts going, and they'll be here tomorrow night talking about that. Sunday night at 8 o'clock, we'll be here on the channel again for the ISC Midnights, and we'll be talking about Rust Creek. And then on Tuesday, the 30th, we will see the return of the Friendly Men, the full team up, the full lineup. James, Ant, Jonas, maybe Joe, maybe pop up, maybe. Joe from Concrete Spew, maybe.
He's not, Joe doesn't know any of us except for me, Pat, so I don't think he's going to go. You might want to put his name down. He only knows me. He doesn't know anybody else. So
who doesn't, Joe?
Joe doesn't know anyone else besides me on the Friendly Men. So
you know what? You got to fix that, mister.
Well, he's got his own thing, and we got our own thing. All right. So, but yeah, don't expect Joe. Expect me and Ant shirtless.
Jonas. Are we going shirtless?
No, we're not going to go shirtless.
Weather depending. We might go shirtless.
Well, I gained a little bit of weight since my Wendy's I had today, so my shirt's staying.
All right. So that is it. I want to thank the chat for coming out and supporting the show. I appreciate it. Thank you for Mr. Bones and Hobbs for dropping links. I appreciate that very much. We will be, I think there's a Echo side later on tonight at 10:30 with Echo and Bones. If not, we will see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Everybody stay right where you're at, and to the chat, we'll say goodnight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
It's a lot of fun.
See you guys soon.
Thank you for everything, guys, and thank you everyone for listening.